one can argue on the massive impact science has in our present day world. From the times when life was wasteful, where there was no electricity, people met countless of hardships, for instance of traveling extremely long distances without any source of transport. We have moved to a life where almost anything can be accomplished. The dreams of yesterday have become the reality of today. Now, what has made this possible? Only one word: science. Science has changed the face of our world. It has revolutionized the life of ours by gifting us with many blessings. The wonders of science have contributed to the comforts and pleasures of human beings. It has increased human comfort and happiness. It has given us various means of transport and communication like the railways, aeroplanes, ships, buses. We can cover long and tiresome journey and can carry goods from one place to another very safely and easily. An advanced society has resulted due to the progress of science. Therefore, it makes it significant to understand what science really is and its crucial impact in our lives. Science is a way of understanding the world, and in technical definition, it is the pursuit and application of knowledge and understanding of the world using a systematic method based on evidence. Because of science, we have been able to track back in the past and answer some unimaginable questions. For instance, how did we come to existence? The Big Bang. Science has helped us to understand that the universe began billions of years ago. At that time, the part of the universe we can now see was no longer than the period at the end of the sentence. This tiny universe was incredibly hot and dense. The universe then exploded in what astronomers call the Big Bang. According to this Big Bang theory, the universe formed in an instant, billions of years ago, in an enormous explosion. Science has also greatly assisted us in finding new and amazing information regarding our world. The fascinating aspects beyond our world has been discovered, and in fact much more has been unknown, as we are still in the process of gathering momentously more information. But whatever we have discovered has been due to the wonders of science. Science has also shown its worth in the field of medical. It has enabled us to fight many diseases and save the lives of countless. It is a wonder that science has conquered deadly diseases and lengthened the span of human life. There is now a cure for practically every fatal disease that used to take a heavy toll of life in the past. Science has advanced so much that organs, when they become useless, like the human heart and kidneys, they can be replaced by transplants. Stem cell research and many other findings have indicated and shown that the lives of ours in the upcoming future will be even better than it is as of now. With the help of science, we have achieved the unthinkable. We have reached the moon and will be visiting other planets too. There is no limit to the wonders of science. But who created science? Science is basically an idea. In fact, the real credit goes out to the scientists that have revolutionized our lives. Famous scientists include the likes of Albert Einstein, who revolutionized scientific perceptions. One of his most important contributions was to the relationship between mass and energy. Until that point, the world viewed these two things as completely different things. The fact that Einstein proved that they were related, and furthermore, different forms of the same thing, was a huge shock to the scientific community. This, of course, is all explained with arguably the world's most famous equation, E equals to mc squared. Another major scientific theory of his was the theory of relativity. In it, Einstein argues and proves that time is not constant, but it is relative. This is a momentous finding in the history of science that opened the door for the creation of the atomic bomb. Einstein is also known for his contributions to the development of the quantum theory and much more. Max Planck is another famous scientist who completely revolutionized physics. His work was so important that his research is considered the pivotal point where classical physics ended and modern physics began. It all started with what seemed an innocuous discovery, energy, which appears to be emitted in wavelengths that is actually discharged in small packets known as quanta. This new theory of energy, known as the quantum theory, played a role in many of the most important scientific discoveries of the 20th century. Niels Bohr, another outstanding figure who was a Danish physicist and was only 37 when he won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1922 for his progress in understanding the structure of atoms. That is, specifically his theory that electrons lived outside the nucleus in orbits of energy. Understanding of matter, and more specifically atoms that constitute almost everything in this universe, was essential for the basis of other discoveries. Jonas Salk is greatly remembered in the field of medical as he had invented the crucial vaccine for polio. Before the creation of the vaccine, polio was a devastating viral disease that had become an epidemic. Each year, thousands of children and adults either died from the disease or were left paralyzed, such as US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Francis Crick and James Watson together discovered the double helix structure of DNA that is also known as the blueprint of life. With the structure of DNA understood, it has assisted in greater findings in biological science. Sir Isaac Newton is also one of the most important scientists of all time who made many discoveries and theories that have changed the outcome of the present world. His studies in physics have influenced modern physics greatly with his laws of motion, his study of light, and his law of gravitational motion. Newton also created one of the most important scientific books of all time, the Principia, which is widely regarded as one of the most influential works on physics of all times. Another widely acclaimed scientist was Thomas Alva Edison, whose inventions of the electric locomotive, phonograph, electric pen, kinescope, advanced telephone, and most importantly, the invention of the electric bulb has won him several great distinctions. Of course, these are only a minute group of achievers in science. There are countless of many who have greatly helped progress our present lives. Because of the importance science holds in our present-day society, we must recognize its significance and truly respect the brilliance it brings to our lives. The future of ours rests in the hands of science. Without science, our lives would have been unimaginable, to say the least. Hence, we must respect science and admire its revolution.